Hey you guys, what's going on? It's your girl Queen Motivation. Definitely wanting to share some love with you guys today. But before I do, I need you guys to go ahead and like this video. Share in the comments what you think about this video. Also, let me know what you want to hear. Let me know how you're feeling in the comments and how this video touched your heart, mind, body, or soul. If this video did anything for you. Also, share. If you have not yet subscribed to my channel, I need you to go ahead and do your girl a favor. It's definitely a blessing. It's beautiful. It just feels so good when you're able to walk away from people, situations, circumstances, so many different things that we've held on to. I want to tell you from personal experiences, I've never been able to properly love anyone because I've never really knew how love was when it comes to me loving a man and a man loving me. Now, I can love my children all day long. I can love my family all day long. I can love the people close to me all day long, some of my friends. But I have never yet understood how to properly love a man. And the reason why I never really understood how to properly love a man is because I never had a man that I can properly love. And the reason why I haven't been able to get a man that I wanted to properly love is because I didn't even properly know how to love myself. So a lot of us are dealing with learning to love yourself in order to love someone else. How do you learn to love yourself if you never knew who you were? If you don't know who you are, you can't love a false pretense of yourself. So you have to get to know yourself. A lot of us don't want to get to know ourselves because when we actually get to know who we really are, it can be ugly sometimes. Sometimes getting to know who you are can be damaging to your character. A lot of people be running around here pretending and being people pleasers because they want people to like them, but they're struggling to love themselves. So when you struggle to love yourself, you definitely look for validation from other people because you need to feel something from somebody because you don't know how to give it to yourself. I'm telling you, from just personal experiences, I've been in a lot of relationships that I thought maybe in my mind I was a good woman because I did certain things that just automatically classify me as a good woman. And a lot of the times I had to realize that I struggle with insecurities and I struggle with trust issues. Now, I'm not going to say that my relationships made me struggle with trust issues or have insecurities. These are things that I've dealt with from childhood trauma. And since I already struggle with trust and I already struggle with insecurities, I was kind of more lenient to receiving that kind of relationship from people because that's all I knew. So when I got with a man, it was like I already in my mindset don't trust him. Why? Because I already been through some things, right? So I was automatically pushing off a lot of insecurities in my relationships already, but it didn't help that the kind of men that I dealt with fed into my insecurities and allowed me to understand why I didn't trust them and why I couldn't trust them. I'm not perfect by far, but I do know that I have a good heart, but I also have other things that I had to work on. My last relationship taught me a lot. My previous relationship before that taught me a lot. So every relationship that I've ever been in has taught me something about myself that I can actually work on. The first thing I had to do was forgive myself for a lot of things that I've endured, not only from the guys that I dealt with, but from myself. So the purpose of this video is because I want women to understand that it's okay to not be okay. It's okay to understand that you're struggling in so many different ways when it comes to trying to be in a relationship and trying to love somebody. Sometimes we trying to love somebody because we think we need that kind of love from a man in order to love ourselves. You don't need a man to love yourself. You got to love yourself first and let a man come love you in between of you loving yourself. A lot of us are in relationships we know full well we have no business in, but we don't want to be alone. So since we don't want to be alone, we rather deal with that person and deal with the things that they give us because we think that's what we deserve. First and foremost, I want you guys, and this is not just for the women, it's for the men too. First and foremost, I want you guys to learn your worth and understand that you're worth more than what you think. A lot of men are broken and they don't know what love is either. So they're passing off their version of love thinking it's right. So I'm not mad at anybody for all the things that I've been through in my past relationships. I'm kind of blessed and I'm grateful and I'm thankful to God that He's allowed me to go through certain things so I can learn certain things about myself and I can learn what to look for in the next man. So this video is not just for me, it's for somebody else who's also struggling. You have to be able, for one, to acknowledge where you need work within yourself. Then you have to hold yourself accountable as well. You can't go around here blaming everybody for all the failed relationships that you had. Because at the end of the day, it takes two to make a relationship work. So even if you went around trying to do your part, you have your own things that you have to work on as well. So with that being said, I've learned a lot. I've learned how to more so communicate with understanding instead of just going off my emotions and communicating. When you communicate with emotions are high. So if you go straight into a conversation based off your emotions, there's going to be no understanding anyway, because you automatically feel how you feel and you want people to feel how you feel. So at the end of the day, if you go into a conversation angry, then that's the emotion that's going to play out. That's the emotion that both of you guys are going to feed off of. Nobody's going to be able to get anything out because both of you are angry. So instead of going to communicate with your emotions first, I think it's best to communicate with understanding, because you have to understand the person, why the person is feeling the way the person is, why the person has this attitude, whatever the case may have. You understand first before you communicate, because you never know what a person is going through. You never know what a person is dealing with. So if you just take your emotions and brush their emotions off because you feel like you need to let them know how you feel, first you need to understand how they feel, because you never know what they're dealing with. People deal with things on a regular basis every day, all day of our lives. People deal with something. So the reason why I'm saying this is because I want somebody who may have dealt with some insecurities in their relationships to figure out what those insecurities are and to figure out if you're ready to push those insecurities on somebody else. And then on top of that, make sure that the next relationship that you get in, you and your significant other is healthy, because you can't take a broken man and a broken woman and put them together and make it whole, because they both broken. So automatically it's going to cause a lot of confusion. So at the end of the day, you make sure your partner is healthy mentally for himself. When your partner is mentally healthy for himself, spiritually, emotionally, financially, mentally, all that, when he's healthy in those aspects of his life, then you need to make sure that you're healthy in those aspects of your life before you try to get with him, and vice versa. Don't go into somebody else's lives with all your trauma, all your insecurities, all your unheals, all your brokenness, all these things that's damaging you. Because if it's damaging you, imagine what it's going to do to the next person. So heal before you move on into the next relationship. That's what I'm doing. I'm taking my time. Because I want to make sure that the next man that comes into my life is going to be better for me and for him. And I don't want to feel needy to depend on a man when I need to be able to give myself the things that I inquire for him to give me. If I want healthy love, I have to give healthy love. If I want forgiveness, I have to give forgiveness. If I want understanding, I have to give understanding. Whatever I'm asking a man to do, I need to be able to do that as well. I can't ask a man for a mansion if I don't have a mansion. And when I say mansion, just understand that a lot of us women, we be wanting these guys to come together, but we not even together. We want these men to come with a car, a house, 6 figures. We don't even have that. So when they talk about being equally yoked, that means make sure you and your significant other match. And do not, I repeat, do not settle just because you're lonely. Don't get in no relationship because it looks good. It make you look good physically. So at the end of the day, I want to encourage you guys, whoever this message is for, whoever this video is for, do not rush the process. Take your time. I will not ever, I will never get in another relationship based off of what I think. I need to know. So whoever this video is for, you are blessed. and you don't have to rush. And if he or she doesn't value you as a person and they don't bring anything to your table, and that does not mean financially, that means mentally, physically, emotionally and spiritually. If they have nothing to bring to the table, leave them at the front door. And that's the message that I have for you beautiful people. Hope you guys really enjoyed this message. I love you guys so much. Take it easy. Be blessed. And be patient in your process. I love you guys.